Growing up, I think most boys wanted to be like firemen or policemen. For me, a little bit different. I wanted to be James Bond. I mean, come on, think about it. He is like the ultimate man. He gets to travel around the world. He gets to blow things up. It's all about fast cars and faster women. And I suppose now when you look at a brand like Aston Martin, it's as synonymous with 007 as shaken, not stirred. But who is the Aston Martin owner? Let's be honest, as motoring journos, we often get caught up in kilowatts and performance figures. But when you're buying an Aston, it's more about the status. So we thought we'd do things a little bit differently and find out exactly what goes into purchasing your very own piece of James Bond.
Someone else who's keen to experience the Aston Martin lifestyle is Owen Nkomo, and with 13 years finance industry experience, he knows what to look for in a four-wheeled investment.
Oh, and this is a trickier question than like, what do you look for in a woman?
Yeah.
What do you look for in a car? What's important to you?
Listen, obviously performance is important, and and for me, I really think the way the car looks itself as well, that's very important. But for me, I like the classic cars that are elegant at the same time. You would find me on a good day running around in maybe it's an S350 or CLS AMG. That's my kind of car.
The man's got style.
No, listen, it's got a good history and the performance is great. And the technology and the gadgets as well are very key, in the car.
It's interesting you say that, because I mean, here we are with Aston Martin. I mean, been around since 1913, so lots of heritage here. What is it then about Aston Martin as a brand that appeals to you?
That's not a trick question, is it?
No.
I mean, we grew up watching the James Bond movies. Do you want me to say more? I mean, this car is legendary. And the way they have kind of managed to keep the design the same and just tweak a bit in terms of the shape and the way, there's a bit of consistency there. And the history always comes out in the car. And I think it's just a simple car and it's beautiful. It's not going to outpace the GTR any day soon. But, it's still the car that it's when you get into that car,
You do feel like James Bond.
Exactly. I mean, in the car scene, they call it a panty dropper, actually. You don't have to chat up the girls, buddy. You don't have to chat up the girls. Half your work is done.
I might be using that, okay? I hope you don't mind.
There you go.
The panty dropper. That's like us saying a car comes with a lot of status.
There you go.
Yes.
The first Vanquish was launched in 2001 as the company's range topper. In addition to Aston Martin's customary aluminium panels, the car also made extensive use of carbon fiber, something which is carried through on the new car as well.
As you'll see, you can get the quilting on the seats,
Yeah.
which just gives it that added sumptuous look.
And obviously the Aston Martin Vanquish is the flagship for the brand. And there's a lot of improvement to the new model. Nick is busy giving Owen the rundown on why this car is the right car for him.
Yeah.
There you can see the carbon
Still
fiber,
carbon fiber still,
yes,
yeah.
which is underneath the painting. There's a standard range of colors. Depending on which color you pick, depends on the price that you're going to pay. Okay. The standard range is included in the price. There's the dash veneers that you can select from carbon fiber, silver, piano black. Then you go onto your headlining in the car, which is your Alcantaras.
Now, things are getting serious when Nick and Owen have moved into that private room. What happens in there is this is where you get to really bespoke your Aston Martin. They've got colours that they call fast track colours that are obviously available straight away, and they're the common colours that you find. They've then got a contemporary line, and literally you can even mix your own colour. Yes, there's a lot of technology like carbon fibre and all the modern stuff that's been brought to the brand, but they still stick to the old way of manufacturing cars personalised for your enjoyment.
It was time to leave the showroom and find out what on-road returns you can expect from your 4 million plus investment.
The sound of an Aston Martin has sold more Aston Martins than anything else.
I promise you.
The car is a car that you can drive every day. It's not like some of our competitors, which are strictly weekend vehicles.
Yes.
You have different suspension settings. You have a sports button, which in traffic we're not going to use today.
Yeah.
But you can firm up your suspension. It depends how you drive it. If you've got a very heavy right foot, obviously it goes up.
Yeah.
But on the open road, you'll probably get down to about 10 litres per 100 k.
Yeah.
In town, if you're racing from traffic light to traffic light, up to about 18.
18, huh?
Yes. The car also comes with the B&O 1000-watt sound system,
Yeah.
Bang & Olufsen.
Bang & Olufsen, yeah.
Yeah, which can be directed towards the driver
Yeah.
if you're driving on your own. It's the same engine that they put in the DBR9, which races at Le Mans.
Yeah.
It's won its class many, many times.
Is this kettle leather or donkey leather?
No. The leather comes from the Highlands in Scotland.
In Scotland?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Give us some gas.
Oh. Well done.
Feel that?
Oh.
Yeah, the customers who have taken delivery,
Yeah.
have traded in their DBSs, which is what this replaces,
Yes.
have said the difference between the cars is amazing. It's not just 10% better than the DBS, it's like 50, 60% better
Yeah.
than the DBS.
Miles more.
I think it's fair to say, step out of your Vanquish and you're going to step into a pretty privileged society. And this is what Aston has always been about, is the status. Look, we haven't done this like a normal test where we've spent a lot of time with the car getting to know it. So I don't want to go into too many details. All those sort of figures in terms of performance, 421 kilowatts, 620 newton meters of torque, are things everybody's going to know about. But let's be honest, as the owner of a Vanquish, you're going to throw those figures down because you want people to know. But it's not really about what the buying decision is when it comes to this car. What is important, first of the Aston Martins to go with an entire carbon fiber body. As a flagship model, they really have brought a lot of the 177 into what you're enjoying on your Vanquish. The little touch technology on the buttons is very super modern, sophisticated, but obviously they've kept the styling very similar to what you've come to love of your Aston Martin. For me, in the short time that I've driven the Vanquish, I think the biggest improvement has been in the gearbox. 6-speed, rear mounted, is very, very pleasant if you're just keeping it in automatic mode. Of course, if you want to use the pedals and get a bit more boisterous and start enjoying that 6-litre V12 engine. This car is all about Aston taking a step forward in terms of its refinement, its build quality, without losing any of those special Aston Martin touches.